I never knew how much becoming a mother would bring me back to myself. For some reason, I felt like motherhood was this space of uncertainty, just kind of like this negative impact that women feel after becoming a mother. And, you just never really hear good things about motherhood, right? It's always like the mom's just stressed out, doesn't get enough sleep. You always hear just the bad side. And although that reality can be true sometimes, I have found the profound just meaning of motherhood and really becoming a mother, becoming this woman of power, really feeling confident from the inside. I feel like motherhood just shows you like this certain kind of power that we have. And as time passes by, I feel like we develop this confidence, we develop these parenting skills, these mental health sides of us where we want to be better, where we're pursuing something, a family nucleus of more positivity. And so, yes, you can feel all these shifts. You can feel, these deep, dark waves. You can feel, at times, these moments of uncertainty. But like as time goes by, you almost like understand the flow. You go with the flow. You embody what is happening. We develop this sense of patience. We have this deeper understanding of what compassion is and what that means and what that looks like. And I truly feel like parenthood, motherhood in general is really like breaking the cycles. And we hear this all the time, but truly I feel like we are the generation of healing. And I find that just like astonishing, like, wow, we're really doing the work. We evolve so much, and if I can backtrack in time and think of the newborn stage, wow, just how vulnerable I was. And I really was a student, learning from my mother, learning from loved ones, and, discovering what it really is to take care of somebody else. In the beginning, it can feel very overwhelming just because, you're preparing for like a huge life change, right? You're preparing for labor and delivery and really experiencing this monumental moment, which is something that, we researched for 9 months, really preparing for this life-changing day. But then what happens next? The child comes and it's like, okay, I think I got the hang of this. I think I'm doing everything right. Yes, I'm a little sleep deprived, but the days are getting easier. Breastfeeding is becoming a little bit easier now. I have my moments, but maybe it will get easier. Maybe it won't be so hard. Maybe it will get a little bit harder. And so you're really preparing for all the days ahead. We really don't know what to expect, but that's the beauty in the journey is like, wow, I'm really figuring this out. Like I said, you discover this sense of power. You really become and embody a figure of power. And so how do you find these acts of gentleness, and how do you discover this way of kind of like conscious parenting? Fortunately, I was able to adopt this lifestyle even before becoming a mother. I remember just diving into yoga and learning the paths of healing and just being a better person, because I promise, like, when you go through the most in life, it really teaches you to slow down and to concentrate on the things that are, meaningful for you, things that feel right for your life. It's life altering, really. And so as I became a mother, I'm like, you know what? I need to find this path again. How can I find this path of enlightenment to feel this happiness in my motherhood? There have been many times that I've messed up, and we're human, we make mistakes, things happen. Sometimes that we say things that we regret. Sometimes our actions are not aligned with what we really want to portray out into our lifestyle. And so sometimes we have these hiccups, we make mistakes. And I realized right then and there, through my mistakes, I'm like, no, I don't want it to be this way. I don't want to parent this way. I don't want to be this kind of mother. I want to I want my motherhood to look like this. I want my child to feel safe. I want my child to feel, outspoken and comfortable. I want my child to be able to communicate and regulate, his feelings. And I want to be able to regulate my own feelings. You'll start to have these moments of growth and realizing that all these awakenings are happening after each milestone from your children. Your child will start to vocalize themselves, and movement will start to begin, the walking and crawling process and the curiosity, all the demands of life. And it's really beautiful in a sense where you understand how to get through these milestones yourself. So all in all, I didn't lose myself in motherhood. If anything, it made me wake up. It made me realize that I could have this stability within myself. I could have this peace and experience deep wisdom of life. There is beauty in the challenges, and motherhood allows you to wake up. It allows you to really embody this feminine side of you. And this deep love that you experience, it really does make you better. It makes you better in the ways of it's like this whole reflection. It's this whole reflection of life, but you get to think about the past and you get to rewrite your story. And that's where I find that there is so much beauty within these own lessons that we are receiving. You get to create the story again. It's like you have a second chance at life, but yet you have much more wisdom and much more clarity. Yes, nothing is perfect. Like, we all have things that we are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Nothing is ever easy in life, and life really isn't linear. We're always going to experience something that can be challenging. It's just how you react to those experiences. That is why romanticism and really romanticizing your life, everyone should do it. So if I were to tell a first-time mom anything, it would be that motherhood is an inside job. It's something that we work on every single day. Everything that we are learning, we're learning through our child. They are giving us the lessons. Our children are the reflection of ourselves. Literally, I know when I need to work on something because it's definitely reflected through my child. So yeah, I would tell the first-time mom that, hey, breathe it out. We learn through patience, we learn through reflection, and enjoy the ride. Motherhood and parenthood is a beautiful testimony of love and compassion. Thank you for tuning in to this video, and if you stayed along this far, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we can connect more through this channel. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video.